Hey guys, Cobalt Isaac here. Sorry I haven't posted in a while, I've been pretty busy, but since I did my top 10 favorite superheroes, I'm gonna do my top 10 favorite villains. So, hope you enjoy the list. Okay, so number 10 will be the Joker. And yeah, I know you're probably complaining that I put him this low on the list, but there's just so many other awesome super villains. So, the Joker, I'll admit, is kind of overrated, but the stuff that most people don't know about him is actually pretty sweet. Like his origin story of how he used to be a villain called Red Hood. Like, just read Batman Zero Year. That basically kind of gives him the origin story. I mean, it's just heavily implied that he was Red Hood 1. But yeah, Zero Year is basically like kind of like Batman's origin story. I mean, it's when he first like suits up as Batman, basically. It doesn't focus on like his training, but yeah, just check out Batman Zero Year. And also in Darkseid War, it was revealed that there's actually 3 Jokers. I know, they haven't really explained that at all, even though it's been like a full year since they revealed it. I don't even think they've brought it up once after they revealed... Well, they brought it up after they revealed it, but like, it's been like a year since they ever mentioned it. So I think it was just for marketing purposes, honestly, but it was still a pretty sweet reveal. Nine, we've got Thanos. Yes, he's the big bad they're building up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So there's not much I can explain about him, but yeah, once he gets the Infinity Gauntlet and the Infinity Stones, he is pretty much all-powerful. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about him. Okay, number 8 is the Blue Flash / Future Flash. So I'm just going to explain as a comic book origin because, spoilers for other stuff. So basically, Blue Flash / Future Flash is Barry Allen 20 years into the future, where he's just overwhelmed by everything that's happened in his life, because 5 years later, like 5 years after like the actual present day, so this is like 15 years ago, Wally West died in a car accident, the African American Wally West, and Iris West was put in a wheelchair. And now Future Flash is going back in time and killing off a bunch of his villains just so these bad events don't happen. He's just trying to... He's basically insane, okay? But he's from Flash volumes 6 and 7, I think, or maybe it's 5 and 6. Basically, it's called Out of Time and then Savage World. But his costume is amazing. I think his comic book costume is the best out of all of them, but that's just my personal opinion. And pretty much everyone else's opinions. So, moving on. Number 7 is the Court of Owls. They're kind of the current villains in Gotham, which, I don't know. I mean, Court of Owls is something that they shouldn't really do in a prequel show, because then it kind of limits the possibilities for the future when Bruce Wayne is Batman. But, yeah, their story arc is really good. Batman Court of Owls, check it out. It's actually voted like #1 best Batman story of all time. And yeah, they're kind of new. It came out in like 2011, which is pretty new for like a comic book character. But I guess a few of my previous mentions, like Future Flash was I think 2014, possibly. Around that time. It was part of the New 52. And Godspeed was 2016. He's a really awesome villain that I'm going to bring up later in this list. But yeah, the Court of Owls, they basically are just the secret organization, which is awesome. And the Talon, well, there's lots of Talons, but one of them is, his name's Lincoln March, but his birth name is Thomas Wayne Jr. He was actually Bruce Wayne's I don't know, some sources say younger brother, others say older brother. I'm not sure. I think it's his older brother. I know that in Earth 3 with the Crime Syndicate, where like all villains are good and all heroes are bad, Owlman, who's like the Batman counterpart, is Thomas Wayne Jr., and he's the older brother. But anyways, it's just awesome. And I think they're going to be using like the Thomas Wayne Jr. / Lincoln March on Gotham. That's who I think the Bruce Wayne clone is. Which, yeah, again, that's why I'm not happy about them doing it in Gotham, because yeah, Bruce Wayne shouldn't be finding out about the Court of Owls while he's not even Batman yet. But I'd recommend you check it out. So now we'll move on to number 6. Number 6 is Cobalt Blue. He's kind of the inspiration for my username. Well, it's kind of subconsciously. I mean, I heard the name Cobalt Blue, and I'm like, oh, that's Cobalt. That's like a really cool name to have on something. Then, like a few months later, I'm going through names of what I should call myself. I'm like, Cobalt. That seems like an awesome name. Cobalt Isaac. Yes, sticking with that, no matter how lame people think it is. But Cobalt Blue, he is the ancestor of Eobard Thawne, aka the ReverseFlash. And he's actually Barry Allen's long-lost twin brother. They were separated at birth because the Thawne family, their kid was supposed to be born on that same day, and he died. But the Allen family, they were having twins, so the doctors kind of stole one of the twins, claimed it died, then gave it to the Thawne family. But the Thawnes were actually a bunch of criminals, and they were abusive parents. So as Malcolm grew up, he eventually learned about Barry Allen and was jealous that he had such a great life, even though his mother was killed and father was framed for it. But whatever, he supposedly had a really awesome life. And also found out he was the Flash. So yeah, he was angry. He has like this blue medallion or whatever, talisman, that it basically steals things. It's magic, it can basically do that. So yeah, he was able to steal the Flash's speed. He was more of a Wally West villain actually, because he kind of came like too late, like, oh wait, Barry Allen's already dead. But again, he's a villain so awesome that he was subconsciously the inspiration for my name. So that should mean something. Even though my name is like super lame, and sometimes I'm embarrassed when people ask, so, heard you're a YouTuber, what's your channel name or what's your Instagram name? Like, Cobalt Isaac. But whatever. I think it's an awesome name, so I'm never going to change it. Because it's an awesome name. And I'm really sorry I couldn't put this guy higher on the list. But there's awesome villains. Flash has the best villains. Oh, and Cobalt Blue hasn't made an appearance in the New 52 or Rebirth. And I'm guessing he won't appear in the Flash TV show. Mainly because Malcolm Thawne would have been like the Eddie Thawne and he kind of died, but whatever. Moving on. Okay, so number 5 is the ReverseFlash / Professor Zoom. Basically, Eobard Thawne. He was the Reverse Flash from the CW Flash show, Season 1. But, yeah, he was a pretty sweet villain. I mean, I heard of him in Batman the Brave and the Bold. I just, heard a guy called himself Zoom. Apparently he's from the future. He's a rival of the Flash. But I didn't really know him that well. I mean, he was just the type of villain who's just has the same powers as his arch enemy, But then watching The Flash, I was like, yeah, this guy is a very awesome villain. And in the comics, besides the New 52, he was really awesome. And DC Rebirth brought back the old Eobard Thawne. If you don't know who he is, go check out The Flash. And also, he killed Barry Allen's mother, The Flash, and framed his father for doing it. And so his father ended up going to prison in some continuities, including the TV show. His father was eventually released from prison. Some continuities, he died of his father died of a heart attack like a year before Barry Allen became the Flash. Or maybe it was a year after he was arrested. I can't remember which one. But yeah, that really stirs up the rivalry because, he killed Barry's mom when he was a kid. And Barry devoted his entire life of finding out who the killer was. And yeah, that's just how awesome Reverse Flash is. Also, he's the descendant of Cobalt Blue, Malcolm Thawne, who was earlier in this video. So, again, Reverse Flash, really awesome villain. Number 4 is Parallax. And I don't mean like that big-headed dude from the Green Lantern Ryan Reynolds movie. I'm talking about Parallax. Okay, well, basically, in the old Green Lantern, the comics, Hal Jordan became a villain known as Parallax after Coast City was destroyed by Mongol. And he went insane, destroyed pretty much all the Green Lantern Corps. Kyle Rayner became sort of his replacement as Green Lantern, which Kyle Rayner's a cool guy. Hopefully they give him back his White Lantern powers. Just saying, he's my 3rd favorite superhero. Okay, but anyways, Parallax. So, yeah, he was Parallax for a while, and he had the power of all of the Green Lantern rings, and this is before all the other Lantern Corps. I think, Sinestro had his yellow ring, but he didn't have the full suit. But yeah, then eventually he went to battle a bunch of the Justice League members. Then somehow he died and his soul was given to the Spectre, and he became the Spectre for a while. Then in Green Lantern Rebirth, it was revealed that Hal Jordan was actually possessed by an entity called Parallax, and that's why he did all those crazy things. And eventually he became a Green Lantern again. Also, in the New 52, or I think it was technically part of DCYOU, whatever, I consider that part of the New 52. Hal Jordan became, like, he put on the Gauntlet of Krona, and which basically had the power of 12 Green Lantern rings, and it was awesome. The story arc's called Renegade, and we actually got to see Renegade Hal versus Parallax. They somehow took him from, like, an alternate timeline, like the previous timeline before the Flashpoint reboot, even though it technically, those events happened in the New 52. Oh, it's comic book confusing. Oh, moving on. Number 3 is Prometheus. Man, this guy is awesome. So, he's the main villain in Arrow Season 5, which, by the way, if you stopped watching Arrow, please start watching it again. Season 5 is awesome. It's the best season in all of the CW shows. I know Seasons 3 and 4 weren't that good, but trust me, Season 5 is awesome. Because they're kind of ending the show, well, not ending the show, but ending, like, the overarching plot of the show. You know, because the 5 years on an island, that's gonna be done by the end of the season. There's like 2 episodes left. But yeah, Prometheus is way different than he was in the comics. In the comics, he was actually the guy who cut off Arsenal's arm. You know, Roy Harper, Speedy, Red Arrow, Arsenal, whatever. But yeah, his identity was never revealed in the comics, so it was kind of, you know, he could be anyone in the TV show, which just made it a lot more awesome. And yeah, he was a threat to the entire Justice League. Like, he even defeated Wally West Flash, who's my favorite superhero, by tricking him into thinking that he had a bomb inside of him that would blow up if he reaches speeds higher than the average man. Which, that's pretty awesome, if you ask me. But, you know, gotta move on to number 2 now. Number 2 is Godspeed. Yeah, I know, another Flash villain, but come on, Flash has awesome villains. So does Green Lantern. So, Godspeed. He's a speedster with an awesome name. And he was actually the first, like, villain. Like, his story arc was the first one to appear in DC Rebirth for the Flash. And it was amazing. It's called Lightning Strikes Twice. And I'm not even going to explain the story to you. You should just check it out. But he knows how to use super speed to literally be in 2 places at once. Not like Speed Mirage or just being there really quickly or anything. But, like, he actually splits himself into 2 beings. But it divides the speed between them. And yeah, I just recommend you go check it out. I'm guessing they probably won't have it on the CW Flash series just because his personality was similar to Zoom's. But hopefully they're able to do it sometime down the road. Because I would just love to see it happen. Okay, number 1, the one you've all been waiting for, is Voltham! Sorry, it's just a lot of these guys have really threatening names. But anyways, Voltham is the first Lantern. Basically, it was part of the Jeff Johns run of Green Lantern, which is awesome. It was like slow build-up. It's basically like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it's pretty much just all dedicated to just Green Lantern. But yeah, he basically embodies the emotional spectrum. And I just think you should check out Wrath of the First Lantern. I mean, there's a lot of build-up to it. So I'd suggest maybe you just start in the New 52. I mean, basically all that happened up to that point is Hal Jordan lost the Green Lantern ring. Well, no, he was kicked out of the Green Lantern Corps, and Sinestro, his archenemy, you know, the Yellow Lantern guy, he was given Hal's Green Lantern ring. So, yeah, basically it goes Sinestro, and then there's like some Green Lantern Corps Volume 1, can't remember what that's called, and also Green Lantern New Guardians, which a lot of people hated. I think the beginning was pretty good. So, yeah, then there's Revenge of Black Hand. Then there's like this crossover event between Green Lantern Corps, and Green Lantern New Guardians, and possibly Red Lanterns, but I don't think so, called Rise of the Third Army, which is awesome. And then right after that is Wrath of the First Lantern, which Voltham actually returned in DC Rebirth, which I'm happy about. I mean, Voltham was eventually defeated in the New 52 in Wrath of the First Lantern. He was defeated by Necron, but still, that just proves how awesome he is. Like, he had, like, every Lantern Corps, every ring wielder went after Voltham, and they couldn't defeat him, even when they had to unleash Parallax. Like, Parallax had to possess, well, not really possess, but just, you know, Sinestro absorbed Parallax's powers after becoming a Yellow Lantern again, and they still couldn't defeat him. So then eventually Necron, who's like the embodiment of death, basically the Grim Reaper, has to kill him. But that wasn't even enough. Like, he can't even be permanently killed because of his connection to the emotional spectrum. It's really awesome. And yeah, that's why he's my favorite villain. So, hope you enjoyed the video, and you better subscribe to me. Talking to you, Shazam. And that will be it. Bye, guys.